Alter Bridge just premiered their new single Silver Tongue for their upcoming record Pawns and Kings, but there's one big problem with this song that you need to know about. So let's break it down. Silver Tongue premiered yesterday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time on SiriusXM Octane, rather than through a direct release like their first single, Pawns and Kings. Already, this has generated controversy amongst some fans who would have rather preferred a standard release, but considering that the song was public in New Zealand and Australia several hours before then, it's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. What's actually more important is the quality of the song, which is also up for debate. Right off the bat, when I heard Silver Tongue's intro, my mind immediately went to Mark's latest record, Marching in Time. It's got a similar rhythmic structure to the intros from Let That Be Us and In One Piece, but it's slower, the guitar tone is different, and Scott's drums start in halftime as opposed to full time. All three factors are enough for this riff to sound familiar, but not a direct copy of anything we've heard from Miles or Mark. Based on these similarities, I'm guessing that Mark wrote the riff, but it's entirely possible that it was a collaborative effort or just all Miles. It's getting kind of hard to tell these days. As for the rest of the instrumental work, this song isn't groundbreaking or extremely distinct, at least not compared to the previous single. Don't get me wrong, it's all well written and performed and I enjoyed it, but everything sounds pretty standard for Alter Bridge. You'll definitely be nodding your head along to this track, but your socks will probably stay on. One big letdown in this song is the lack of a guitar solo. The lead up into the bridge makes perfect sense as a pre-solo, but instead of getting a guitar solo, we just get another vocal section. You all know that I love Miles, and his near screaming at the end of the bridge is pretty cool, but what I've really been aching for lately is another epic guitar solo, like from Addicted to Pain or Poison in Your Veins. I want to hear some just like rabid shredding that makes me want to pass out from how awesome it is. That's not too much to ask, right? The unfortunate curse of Alter Bridge is that they're so good, we expect nothing but greatness from them. And anytime something doesn't quite meet our frankly insane expectations for them, we're frustrated and disappointed, even though it's basically our own faults. They set the bar ridiculously high with Pawns and Kings, so it's honestly not that surprising that this song didn't wow me. It's a good track, just not one I'll be obsessed with at the same caliber as its predecessor. It was fun, catchy, and radio friendly, but not anything amazing or revolutionary. And that's okay. Not every song needs to be the next Stairway to Heaven, but there is one more issue that's cause for concern with this record, and it actually has nothing to do with the quality of the song. It's very strange that they released it only 2 weeks after the first single, with more than 2 full months to go before the actual album drops. Pawns and Kings is set to be the band's shortest album to date, with only 10 tracks lasting under 54 minutes. This is their first record under an hour long since Blackbird, despite also having their new longest song, Fable of the Silent Sun. With only 10 tracks, releasing too many singles ahead of time will cheapen the record and detract from the excitement of listening to a new album. And now that they've already released a fifth of the record, they've put themselves in a pretty tough position. Either release several more songs to keep building hype for the album at the risk of ruining the final product, or release 1 or 2 more tracks over the coming months, preserving the integrity of the record, but potentially letting the hype decay and hampering album sales. From my perspective, I think they were a little too trigger happy with Silver Tongue, and I would have been content waiting another 2 or 3 weeks before it came out. I've seen a lot of people online sharing the same sentiment, with some even going so far as to say they won't listen to any more new singles until the album comes out, just so the final release feels a lot more satisfying. For the sake of this channel, I won't be doing that, but admittedly, I am nervous about the timeline for the rest of this record. Hopefully they'll let this one simmer for a while, but we just won't know for sure how this all plays out until October 14th. So what did you think of Silver Tongue? Are you worried about Alter Bridge releasing this song so soon after Pawns and Kings, or does it not bother you at all? Let me know down in the comments. Speaking of Pawns and Kings, I have a full review of that song right here, which you should check out next. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.